Well, good morning, Pemi. We are at the Lincoln Woods Trailhead this morning, and we are going to attempt a Pemi loop. Yes, I know you like Pemi loops. No, you cannot charge me a toll. I told you, that's just the name. You don't own it. Tough darts, buddy. But we're looking for a really challenging hike. To be honest, I don't know that I'm going to be able to complete my goal. It's definitely a stretch. The original plan was 4 days, 3 nights, and I was supposed to start yesterday. Last night, they predicted a foot of snow on the summits, and I decided that I was going to wait. So, in order to make my original goal, I have to do double on one of the 3 days. Or, after I get to Garfield, I can cut through the 13 Falls tent site and cut down through the lowlands and just extract myself on day 3 that way, instead of going over the 5 summits that would be on day 3. So here are my options. Option 1, do a double today. Do a full 12 miles. Now, odds are good I'm going to be breaking trail some or all of the way. And if that's the case, it is highly unlikely I'll make it beyond the initial planned 7 miles. So I would end up stopping at the Liberty Springs tent site. Option 2 would be push on to Garfield for a full almost 14 miles in one day. Now, normally a 14-mile day wouldn't be a big deal, but foot of fresh snow and me breaking trail, yeah, that's probably not going to happen. And then option 3 would be do a normal night tonight, so Liberty Springs, skip Garfield, and get to the Gallo tent site tomorrow night, which is a 14-mile, five summit day for tomorrow. We will see how I feel and where I end up tonight. One of my big concerns is weather. So we're going to flip back to David from the past in the studio. Take it away, David. So the predictions for today, azimuth, are some light snow in the early morning hours, which you should have already seen or not seen, as well as temperatures down into the 16-degree range at the summits. We should have some clear skies in the morning with some clouds in the afternoon. No snow predicted after 4 a.m. or so. So hopefully you have a good day out on the mountain. All right, so I got to get my gear together. My big challenge for today is going to be the initial ascent up the Osseo Trail. It's a lot of stairs, and if I'm breaking trail the whole way, it's going to be a brutal ascent. Once I get to the ridgeline, it's not too bad. You know, maybe a few dicey sections going up Flume and coming down Liberty, but nothing that I can't handle. It's just that initial elevation gain is going to be hard. So, it's going to be cold up there, but I'm geared for it. I'm prepared for it. And I have all my extraction plans in place. So I've told all of my safety team what the plan is and that it's very flexible, and I will keep them up to date. I have been checking the weather, which is why I bailed out yesterday before I even left the house. I've got all the gear. I've double checked everything. I'm ready to go. You ready to do this? Yeah, Pemi, that's you, my buddy. All right, come on, let's do this. So here's the plan. I'm down here, go up this way. This is going to be the hard part. And then once I'm on the ridge, Mount Flume, Mount Liberty, and then when I get here, I'll make my first decision point. I'll either go down to Liberty Springs, or I have to continue and go all the way to here. The mitigation is walk on the other side of the trail. Don't get close to the edge. So I started getting a little warm, so now it's time to take that jacket off before I start sweating. I just started to feel it a little bit, so I caught it in time. And of course, now is also the time to stretch, because I'm good and warmed up. Back there. He is also going to Liberty Springs tonight, so I may have some company. We'll see. Oh, gorgeous. So there's one ladder. So there's the second ladder that we're going around. This would be ladder number 3. The guy that went in front of us on the breaking trail went up beside it because he was wearing snowshoes. But looking at it, it looks like the ladder, even with snowshoes, is probably easier because those are some awfully big steps. Ladder number 4 coming up. followed immediately by ladder number 10. Okay, that ladder makes number 11. Snow last night. And as much as I would have loved to have been up here before the snow fell, I would not want to have tried to sleep in what was going on up here last night. Almost there. 1/10 of a mile to Flume. Boy, this is rough. Going up these, it's like you take one step forward and you slide half a step back. Thankfully, I've got the people that I picked up along the way, so I'm not fully soloing, but it's hard. Almost there. Flume slide, surprise, surprise, is not broken out. Well, okay, Pemi, we are at the summit of Mount Flume. And actually, I think it might be over there, but this is close enough. There's not a lot of places I want to stop and film for safety reasons. So, it's a bit chilly, and unfortunately, we got no views. You got no squeak in you. There we go. It's so cold he can barely squeak. Well, we got one more summit, and we got to get to our campsite for the night. Phil down there is actually overnighting as well, but we are seriously considering bailing in the morning if we can get a ride to get us from Flume Gorge down to our cars at Lincoln Woods. All right, Pemi, we did it. Summit of Mount Liberty. Summit, yeah. There are some gorgeous views up here normally, but not today. Maybe we'll get lucky and get them in winter or spring, because we got to come back up here. Yeah, I'm nuts. I know. I'm nuts. Lots of people know I'm nuts. About 7 miles today is all we made. But it was definitely a sturdy 7 miles. That was a rough hike. We're at the campsite. You can see I've got the hammock behind me, ready to get some grub in us and then call it a night. Philip is also camping. And then in the morning, we have decided that we're going to pull the plug. We're going to get a ride to pick us up down at the Flume Gorge Visitor Center. So, as far as the risk and mitigations, there's a couple of things that I want to mention. First of all, one of the big risks was weather. And of course, because of that, I bailed yesterday. Didn't even bother to get out of the house because I looked at the weather and said, there's no way I'm going to be up there when there's supposed to be a foot of snowfall overnight. And looking at this place, I'm really glad I made that decision. I think that was the right call. The other thing was fatigue. So I've done 7 miles in the winter before, but in this particular case, it was 7 miles. A good portion of it was not not broken out or partially broken out, one person ahead of us. So it was hard. It was a challenging day. Um, and then when we got to the summits, it was hard to stop and eat anything because it was just windy and cold up there. So we just wanted to keep moving and get to camp. So I would say that the risk mitigations worked in that it was a challenging hike, and we're pulling the plug early because the risk level increased above what we felt was doable. So we're gonna pack it up in the morning. We're gonna head down to Flume Visitor Center, and ride's gonna take us back to our cars. So gotta go get something to eat, and see you in the morning. Azimuth out. All right, well, we made it back to the car. I tell you, that was a rough one. That was a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. But we got up there, we got 2 summits, we got down safe, we got a ride back to the cars. Everything's good. Main risks that were realized was overconfidence. I thought I could do more than I could. Weather, it was a little more snow than expected. And just the challenge, it was just hard. But we're alive and well and ready to head home. I'm going to stop somewhere and get some food in me because I didn't get breakfast. Just ate some snackage. But Pemi, are you ready to be done with this? Pemi's ready to be done. I'm ready to be done. It's time to go home. So thank y'all for coming along. Y'all have a blessed day. Azimuth out.